Welcome to the MamasteFit YouTube channel. My name is Gina. I'm a perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula. And in this workout, we're going to be walking through some mobility that includes thoracic mobility, hip mobility, and pairing them with a strengthening exercise. So this is going to be a full body workout that incorporates both the mobility and within the strength. It's going to be 18 minutes, so you can squeeze it in whenever you can. And all you're going to need is a yoga block. So once you've got that yoga block, let's go ahead and get started. And if you want more workouts like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you get notified whenever we release new workouts, which is every Tuesday. So let's go ahead and get going. Grabbing onto your yoga block, we're going to start in a deep squat. So you're going to come down to your block, and we're going to start by just spreading the knees apart from one another. We're going to come into some thoracic rotations, and then we're going to finish up with some squats into jumping squats. So it's going to be about 2.5 minutes here at the beginning. So go ahead and come onto the floor with your yoga block into your deep squat. So if you don't want to use the yoga block, you don't have to. It's just to provide a little bit of support if you need it. And if you need, you can also put something underneath your heels if ankle mobility is a little bit more problematic. We're going to start by just spreading the knees apart. So moving into this deep squat position and working on some hip mobility with external rotation emphasis. So we're going to spend about 30 seconds just kind of pressing the knees apart, getting comfortable in this deep squat. We're going to do 30 seconds per side of thoracic rotation in this position. We're going to do 30 seconds of air squats and then finish up with 30 seconds of jumping air squats. And then we'll move into the next movement. So we're going to move through a variety of hip positions, a variety of thoracic positions, and incorporating some strengthening as well. Right hand down, reach up to the ceiling. Finding that rotation. So the thoracic spine has 3 movements. We can find thoracic spine, we can find rotational movements like these, commonly what you think of thoracic mobility. We also need to find flexion and extension, so cat-cow type movements, and lateral side bending. So we're going to incorporate all of that today in this workout, plus lots of hip positionings. Left hand down, reach up towards the ceiling. Now we're rotating in the opposite direction. So we're going to find external hip rotation, internal hip rotation, one-sided movements, plus pelvic mobility. So it's going to be a lot of mobility work kind of weaved into strengthening exercises. Only about 18 to 20 minutes. So hopefully you're able to squeeze this in. This is the workout that I've been doing whenever I just need some movement within my body. Go ahead and put weight into your feet. Exhale, come up. And then lower down to whatever feels comfortable for you. If you want to lower all the way back down to your yoga block, you can, but definitely not required. Inhales to lower, exhale, lift up in that pelvic floor to stand up. So my baby's going through a little bit of a sleep regression right now. So getting in an hour-long workout it's just not going to happen. And so I've been needing to kind of combine my warm-up with my workouts. So now go ahead and come down, and we're going to kind of hop up. You don't have to lower all the way down, just kind of adding in a little bit of a jump. After this, we're going to move down to the floor to a 90-90 position. So about less than 10 seconds left. So let's come on down to the floor. Left leg in front, right leg behind in the 90-90. So we have that external hip rotation to internal, and we're going to be adding in some lateral thoracic mobility. So reach that left arm overhead to the right side. Hand is behind, and then extend in the hip. So reach over, come behind, extend in the hip. So we feel that side body opener kind of sinking into that back leg groin a little bit more. Extend in the hips. Tuck that butt underneath to feel more of a stretch in that hip flexor. So now we're going to switch or windshield wiper the legs and then extend in the hip. Sit back down, switch to the other side, and then extend in the hip. So we have our 90-90 switches to hip extension, helping to strengthen the glutes. If you need, you can use your hands to kind of help push yourself up. We're just kind of alternating sides. This is the great beginning to be able to get up off the floor with your baby. So right leg in front, left leg behind, moving into that side camel on this side. So we're reaching overhead, reach behind to extend, just alternating between the two. And so when I'm reaching with the hips down, feeling more of a stretch in that left groin area, hand comes behind, extend the hip, more of kind of like the hip flexor, front of the hip area. So now I'm going to find an open hip position on the right side. So we're here, feet is perpendicular to the knee or the shin, and we're going to begin just kind of rocking into this hip, and then find a side body opener. So we're kind of reaching overhead. Right leg, we tend to favor more of an internal rotated position. And so this open hip position is going to help to kind of release a little bit more of the stickiness that you might be feeling on the right side, plus that lateral body opener. Go ahead and extend in the legs, and we have our split squat position. So I'm going to lower down, belly towards thigh, exhale, open up in the hip. So right leg is forward, and we're kind of moving through the hips. We'll spend about 15 more seconds here, and then we're going to do a reverse lunge, do knee drive with that right leg forward. And then we'll do this all on the left side. The first movement will be a little bit different for the left, but the last two will be the same. So now put weight into that right leg, step back, and then step up to drive that knee. So step back, step up to drive. If you want to add in a little hop, feel free. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So now for the left leg, the leg is going to be out in front, and I'm going to reach forward so that belly comes towards the thigh, extend in the hip as I reach the arm overhead, and then lower to come forward. So we're going to be moving through more of this closed hip position. Reach up towards the ceiling, belly to thigh, reach forward. Left hip tends to favor more external hip rotation, so this is helping to bring my hip into a more closed hip position. And then we have the rotational work. If you want to keep that back knee down, you can as well. So straighten up the legs for that split squat, lower down for the left, and then come up. So belly to thigh at the bottom, rotate to open. So we're doing the split squat on this side, and then we're going to come into the reverse lunge with a knee drive. Last 15 seconds of that, we can add in a hop. Weight in that left foot, step back, drive that right knee up. If you want to add a hop, feel free. So grab onto that yoga block. We're going to come to the floor to do the pelvic mobility work. So I'm going to start with one knee on the yoga block. I'm going to shift my weight over and then I'm gonna move through some pelvic tilt. And then I'm gonna move the yoga block, gonna move into some lateral hip shifts, and then we'll do it on the other side. So weight is over that knee, drop belly to the floor, exhale around. When you round in the back, think belly is pulling towards that thigh. That is what's helping you find that rounded position, and keep weight in that elevated knee. You should be able to lift the lower knee off the floor without really changing your body position at all. Now we're gonna spread the knees apart just a little bit, and we're gonna shift into each hip. So you're gonna feel more of kind of an adductor or an inner thigh stretch as you kind of rock towards each hip. And as I come back, I'm gonna be shifting kind of back towards that hip as well. So it's not just side to side. I'm kind of shifting a little bit diagonally back to feel that stretch in that inner thigh. And this all is going to translate to some upright positions that we're going to do after we do the other side, where we're going to do these from a standing position as well. So pay attention to kind of that stretch sensation you feel in the thigh. We can also come down to the forearm on one side as we shift, straighten the arms, come down to the forearm as we shift to add a little bit of upper body rotation. So we're primarily feeling like more of like a groin adductor stretch as we rock from side to side. So now grab onto your yoga block, and we're going to do this from a standing position now. So same hip shift, but now we're going to be standing. So placing one foot onto the yoga block, I'm going to shift my weight into that standing leg. I'm bending in the foot that's on the floor, the leg that's on the floor, and I'm straighter in the foot that's elevated. So lots of weight in that big toe. I almost think like rotating my leg inward as my upper body rotate towards that thigh. So this kind of counter rotation is happening with my leg and with my upper body, meeting at this hip. So feeling this big stretch kind of in this hip pocket. So go ahead and extend the hips forward and then come back into that hip shift. So extend forward, come back into that hip shift. So essentially straighten in that supported leg and then bend as you lower down. Being able to come in and out of a hip shift is crucial for hip stability. It helps make walking up and down stairs easier, helps make walking in general easier. It's how our hip stabilizes. So let's go ahead and come into those lateral hip shifts now. So I'm going to shift towards one leg, and then I'm going to shift towards the other. Similar to the all fours hip shift that we did, where I'm not just going side to side, I'm kind of coming back with it as well. So coming back with it. So shift my weight towards one leg, and then shift towards the other. Feet are parallel towards one another. Feeling that inner thigh stretch here. Feeling that inner thigh stretch here. And you're going to feel the inner thigh stretch more if you rotate the hips, you rotate the pelvis. If I keep everything kind of parallel to the floor or level to the floor, so pay attention to my hands. If my hands are not actually rotating, I'm not going to feel as much in my thighs. I've got to think, drive that hip towards the floor. Drive that hip towards the floor. And I'm going to feel it more in the inner thigh with a stretch. And then when I sit back into that hip, I'm going to feel it more in that glute as well. So the bent leg glute and the opposite leg inner thigh is where we're seeking the sensation in these lateral hip shifts. Let's go ahead and finish the hip shifts on the opposite foot side. So I did it on my right side last time. Now I'm on that left side. So I'm here. I'm going to think, again, drop that hip towards the floor. belly's towards that thigh. I've got more weight in this elevated foot. And now I'm going to put a lot of weight into that big toe. So we're here. You can reach across the body. We're going to do about 30 seconds just kind of holding and kind of wailing around in the position until we find that big stretch in this glute area. And then we'll add in the move. Go ahead and reach forward to extend in the hip and then shift that weight back. So we're coming forward and then I'm shifting into my hip, kind of like hinging into it. Feel that big stretch, come forward. I like to swing my arm with it because it helps me to rotate in my upper body, because trying to like bring my arm straight back is kind of uncomfortable. And so I'm thinking, come back, hand, they're all both facing in the same direction, is gonna force you to open in your upper body. So now let's finish up down on the floor in a hero's pose. So we're gonna start with the knees together, hips down on the block, and we're gonna exhale to extend in the hip and then sit back down. So exhale to extend and then sit back. If you want a little bit more, you can remove the block and we can sit all the way down and then come back up. So this is more of that internal hip rotation, which is different than the first one. But again, more doesn't always mean better. Sometimes we need a little bit of support as we come down. After this, we're gonna stand up. We're gonna take that block, put it between our thighs, and we're gonna move through a hinge exercise or a deadlift. It's gonna be unloaded. If you happen to have weights nearby, you can grab them, but I'll be doing them just body weight. So go ahead and grab on to the block. We're gonna place it between our thighs. And then I want my feet to be fairly parallel towards one another. So when I shift back, I should be able to have even weight within my feet. And then the difference between a squat and a deadlift or a hinge is with a hinge, my hips are coming back, while with the squat, my hips come towards the floor. So exhale to extend in the hip. And then inhale, say push those hips back while squeezing that yoga block. Exhale, push the hips forward. Inhale, shift those hips back. The yoga block squeeze with the hamstring exercise is gonna help with internal hip rotation as well, because our inner thighs and our hamstrings help with that movement within our pelvis, within our femurs. So if you want, you can kind of push your hands against your thighs for a little bit more lat activation. And then your arms should stay fairly straight as you go up and down. If you're like bending in them, you could be kind of relaxing in the upper body. So just kind of use your arms as a feedback tool to help with this hinging. And that concludes our workout. So we moved through external hip rotation with rotational work within the thoracic spine. We moved through internal and external hip rotation with that 90-90 position with some lateral side body opening. We moved into some lunge variations that found an open hip position and a closed hip position within our hips, noting that the right hip tends to favor a more back position and the left hip tends to favor a more forward position. So the initial exercises for both of those were kind of opposite to help kind of release a little bit more tension than normal. We then moved into some hip shifted exercises that helped us to improve pelvic mobility, release tension within the pelvic floor, especially the back half of our pelvic floor, where a lot of us tend to hold a little bit more tension. And so if you're having pelvic pain, SI joint pain, you're having constipation, tailbone pain, any sort of discomfort within the pelvic floor, within your pelvis, it could be related to your ability to hip shift. And we've had a lot of success with our clients incorporating hip shifts into their routine to find a lot of relief from common discomfort that they may be feeling. We then finished up with internal hip rotation with our hero's pose and that deadlift. And so we incorporated all of the thoracic positions with flexion extension with those cat-cows, rotational work, and a lateral side body. And we incorporated a ton of hip positions as well, external hip rotation, internal, both internal and external, plus pelvic mobility as well. And if you want to dive more into it with us with finding intentional workouts designed to help support you during this entire time frame, check out our prenatal fitness programs and our postpartum fitness programs. We offer them as full-length workout videos like this, in addition to self-paced workouts. Prenatal is separated where you can either grab just the full-length videos or just the self-paced workouts. Well, postpartum is combined, so we have both the self-paced and the full-length videos within the postpartum workout. Because again, motherhood makes workouts a little bit challenging sometimes, which is why this workout is something that I've been doing almost daily since we've been in a sleep regression. It's helping me get some mobility in, it's helping me get some strength movements in, to feel good in my body, to move, while also managing my expectations with this time frame. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our fitness programs on our website at MamasteFit.com and use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of our online offerings.